welcome back to the channel. For today's episode, we're gonna go over some of the real pros and cons of living here in New Bedford as someone that has been living here for a very long time, almost 18 years. And not only you're gonna hear from me, but you're also gonna hear from my buddy right here, Lugero, who also been here in New Bedford for a pretty long time, right? You moved here when you were such a young age, and
Yeah, about
we're
9.
gonna share our experience, how it's been here in New Bedford. So let's go straight to the point. And number one for me, the pro, I'm gonna say the beach. So for me, as you know, I moved from a tropical island when I moved here, and I grew up near the ocean. When I came here, New Bedford, as you know, we have our own beach here, so I enjoy fishing, swimming. So I really like being around the water. You know what I'm saying? So, but you can go ahead and give your opinion too, and go ahead and say so your pro first, and then we give some cons.
Yeah, like you said, I moved there at a really young age, probably about 9. Was there till about maybe a year ago. But I mean, I have nothing to really say much about the area. My pros, I would say about the same thing. I grew up around the area, right by the water, and you know,
Yeah, enough.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, of course. So, we came from a tropical island, and we used to, fish all the time, swim. So I really enjoy doing that. So if you're someone that is into like fishing, swimming, and you like to be close to the water, that's one thing we love about New Bedford, because we are just a couple of minutes away. Especially, so the beach is right here in the deep south end of New Bedford. So, if you want to live around that area, if you want to stay very close to the water, then you will have a great time in New Bedford, because we have the beach here, so we don't have to go far. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know some other places where you have to drive like maybe like 1 hour to like 40 minutes, or even an hour and a half just to get to the beach. But here, no, so we're not too far from the beach. So, uh, so con here about New Bedford, I would say, and these are just my own opinion. I know some people might not agree with me, but con number one, I would say, is the winter. So for me, I don't really like. I don't really enjoy the winter like that. So like I said, I came from a tropical island. So when I moved here a long time ago, especially in the beginning, the winter was very tough. It took me a while to kind of adapt to the cold. And as you know, here in Massachusetts in general, it does get really cold, especially here, like in the Boston area, the
Yeah,
western
yeah.
side of Massachusetts. So it does get really cold, and here in New Bedford, it gets really cold as well. And oftentimes too, we get like heavy snow. We get the snowstorm. But to be honest, the weather has changed
Yeah,
for
it's
the
been
over the
better.
past couple of years. We don't really see a lot of snow like we used to, but you never know. New England, the weather is always changing. So, but you know, it gets really cold. I mean, like I'm talking about like some like we have some cold nights and also some cold mornings. I remember when I used to go to high school, I used to walk to school, and during winter time, man, it used to be really, really cold. You go early morning, like 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's freezing, like your hands. So if you're someone that you don't like winter, then just letting you know, New Bedford, it is going to be very cold. Not just New Bedford, but the whole Massachusetts in general. So if you're coming from maybe a different country, or you're coming from like a different
Florida
state,
example.
or yeah, or somewhere where it's
Texas.
warm, but coming to here, you're gonna have to get used to the winter. And the other thing that I would say about the winter too, I feel like we have like long winters. You know what I mean? I feel like it takes like forever to go to summertime, and then once we hit summertime, it doesn't really stay long. Like we don't get like,
Flies by.
yeah, it goes very quick. We only get like a couple months of summer. Usually sometimes like I would say maybe end of May, June. It starts to get warm, but as soon as we hit like end of September, it's already like the weather, it's already like dropping. Like right now, we're in August, we're already seeing the weather dropping. We went from like 80s, now we're going to 70s, and soon it'll be winter time. So I think, it just we don't really get a lot of like that much time, summertime. And the other thing I would say about winter time too is like it gets dark pretty quick.
Mm.
Usually like 4:30, 5 o'clock, it's already dark. But that's one thing I don't really like about New Bedford is the winter time. But other than that, everything else is great. So what do you have to say about the winter, in your opinion?
Um, Cons about New Bedford. I mean, I wouldn't say anything major. Um, I can agree definitely with the cold. When I first came out here, just like he said, coming from tropical island, really we never seen snow before. So I used to think it was cool for a little while, but as I got older, I didn't really. I'm not really a fan of it no more.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
other than I don't really have much to say about New Bedford. I feel like everywhere has pros and cons,
Yeah, definitely.
but I don't really have anything major like that. You know what I'm saying? But I like the city. It's been a hometown for quite a while. Um, and yeah, that's home.
Yeah,
And
for sure. I
you
mean,
know, like I said, the winter maybe a little bit, yeah. But I don't really have anything
yeah. I
else to
mean,
say
some
about it.
people do enjoy the winter. Don't get me wrong. Some
Yeah.
people enjoy the winter.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, this is our own opinion. Some people enjoy the winter. Some people don't like when it's too hot.
Yeah.
I know places where it gets really hot, like Texas. I visited Texas one time. It was really hot. It was over like 100, 110 degrees, which is it was that's
A
crazy.
little too
I think
hot.
the highest sometimes we get here during summertime is like 90s, but it doesn't get like crazy hot. So, but yeah, that was about the winter. So another pro that I would have to say here is the history. So
Mm.
New Bedford, it has like a rich history. If you know about New Bedford, so if you're into like history and here we have plenty of museums that you can visit. We have some cool like history stuff, like the Whale Museum, where it's right here in downtown. We get so many people visiting the Whale Museum. I think you used to work there, like
Yeah, I was an apprentice there for about 3 years.
3 years. Yeah. So for me, it's like we have a lot of cool old stuff, history that you can visit here in the Bedford. We have the military museum in the deep south end in the Fort Tabor. We have plenty of other museums. Even the downtown, we get so many people visiting the downtown. I think our downtown here is very beautiful and with a lot of history there. That's you know
Yeah.
that's another pro I would say for me.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely I think the um, the whole downtown of New Bedford is very interesting.
Yeah, man.
If you're somebody who likes to learn about history, like he said, there's a lot of good places to go, and you can just literally walk around on a nice day out. They're not really that far from each other. Just go learn and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
For me, a pro that I would say about New Bedford, um, there's a few restaurants, good restaurants. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a pro for me if you're somebody who loves to try new things. And they're really big on Hispanic food,
Yeah,
which I like
yeah,
Hispanic
definitely.
foods a lot.
Yeah, and I agree with you. When it comes to restaurants, you said a few, but I want to say there's a bunch of restaurants here in New Bedford. Like you could pretty much find all different type of food here about New Bedford. So that's when it comes to like eating. So if you're a foodie person, so here in New Bedford we have like Dominican food, Chinese food, Japanese food, Mexican food. Especially seafood too, which is that's one of my favorite things to eat here in Bedford when it comes to seafood. We have some great restaurants. One of my favorite is the Black Whale. I don't know if you've been there, but the Black
Yeah.
Whale right here
Hmm.
in the downtown area. That's when I want to eat seafood, I always go there. That's one of my favorite places to go eat. If you ever visit New Bedford, I highly recommend check them out. They have some delicious like lobster. You could get like there's a bunch of that it
Our
gets really
seafood.
packed, and also there's the other restaurant near the beach. I don't know if you've been to that one. I think it's
Oh,
Cisco Brewers, something like that. That one is
yeah.
really great too, especially during summertime. We get so many people coming over there. It's packed
Oh,
most of
yeah.
the time. So when it comes to like seafood, I think New Bedford will be the number one around the New England area. That's why we get so many people. they come. So if you're 40%, you're not gonna have any problems. If you're relocating to New Bedford, we have plenty of places to eat, even like places to eat like pizza. We have a bunch
Mm.
of pizzeria. Like we have all different type of food. So now the other con that I'm gonna say is, I mean, I'm not gonna go too crazy on this, but I'm gonna say unsafe neighborhoods. So it's just like any other places, any other cities. You always have some of the like the good areas. You might have some of the bad areas that you might have to watch out. So it's like almost everywhere, not just here in the Bedford, but as you know, and this is too most of the time when people reach out to me, especially people like relocating to New Bedford, the first thing that they ask me is about the safety. I get this question asked all the time. Where are some of the safest neighborhood? And they also they tell me, hey, I hear some things about New Bedford, some bad things, but it's like almost anywhere. It's not just here. It's almost anywhere you're gonna hear some bad things that happens over there. So I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm not. It is true. Sometimes we get some things that happen over here in New Bedford, but since 2002, the crime rate has actually decreased here in Bedford. They also built, see the new police station that they built in the south
In the
end,
south end,
which
yeah.
is really great. So we have seen some crimes, decreasing here since 2022. But there's some areas that might not be safe, but it's not really like all like how people talk or how they say bad things about New Bedford. But what you got to say about that? I know you grew up here at
Yeah.
such a very young age, especially someone that is very young, moving down here. I know safety is a big thing for a lot of people. Like I said, they ask me this question all the time. Um, but yeah, what do you have to say about it?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I feel like everywhere you go, there's gonna be certain areas that might not be the best. You know what I'm saying? But it all depends on what you're really looking for. If you're looking for a place where it's affordable, you can't expect.
Right.
If you're trying to pay rent $1,000, but you want a
Yeah, no, I
better
agree.
area
I
for
agree with that.
yourself, it might not work. You know what I'm saying? It's all about whatever works for you. But other than that, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I
everywhere
agree.
has.
Of course, everybody wants to live like in a nice area. Like I said, every time when people reach out to me, the first thing they tell me, we want somewhere where it's safe. We want somewhere where there's like not a lot going on. I mean, I'm not gonna go too deep in this in terms of crimes and stuff.
Hmm.
We can't give a lot of information. You have to do your own research. Like that's not my job. But I can't steer people in a certain neighborhoods. But I would say that, yeah, so like you said, so it's like every area is some areas might be good, some areas might be bad. So it's not just here in New Bedford. So yes, so unsafe neighborhoods. So that's a con that I would say. Now the next pro that I'm gonna say is New Bedford is a very walkable city. So what I love about New Bedford, especially me, I'm very active. I like to run. I like to jog. So I love how New Bedford has plenty of walking trails that you can walk. So if you're into like fitness or you enjoy like morning, like walking in the morning or jogging, walking with your dogs. So New Bedford is very very beautiful. One of my favorite places to go for a walk is the Bottomwood Park area.
Yeah, it's a really
So I
nice one.
really love going for a walk there almost every morning. It's very, very peaceful, very quiet, especially if you go early morning. There's a bunch of trees around it, and we get people walking there all the time. There's also some nice walking trails around the beach area, especially summertime. So if you enjoy walking, New Bedford is very, very walkable city. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think especially by the south end as well, by the water, where they have the what is it,
the
what is
Fort
it,
Tabor over there is a nice place to walk.
Fort Tabor, South Beach, West Beach.
Yeah. That's the we
They
got.
built, I'm not sure what it's called, but the
Yeah, there's it's the I know what you're talking about, the walking thing.
by the rock.
Yeah, yeah, they built. I'll put some footage so they can see it how it looks like. So they built those. I would say maybe like 10 years ago. It's been a while because I remember me and my wife we used to walk there when she was pregnant. Like 10 years ago, we used to walk there even at nighttime.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, it's a people say sometimes they say bad things about New Bedford, but it's not like if you're walking on the street, it's not like somebody's gonna like jump you or things like that. So we used to walk there, me and my wife every night, and it was fine. And also there's more like walking trails in the north side, but yeah. So New Bedford is very walkable. Very some nice places too where you can ride your bike. There's plenty of biking trails, especially in the south end near the beach, the deep south end. There's some nice biking trail. I was there last week uh, riding my bike, and yeah, that's one thing I really enjoy about New Bedford. It's the city is very nice, very beautiful compared to some other places that I've been. I'm not gonna lie, I've been to some places in Rhode Island too. I even thought about maybe moving to Florida
Oh
or
yeah.
even Texas, but it didn't really fit with my lifestyle. So since I moved here, I'm so used to New Bedford, and so I stayed here since then. I moved here back in 2008, so
Hmm.
it's been a long time. So I can tell you all the ins and outs about New Bedford. I've been here for a very very long time. You know what I mean? So the other con that I'm gonna say is it's not really like a con, but I'm gonna say the job market, man. So when it comes to jobs here in New Bedford, I feel like the job is limited. But
Okay.
the good thing about it's because New Bedford is very close to like other like major cities, even Boston being not too far, like about 1 hour without traffic. So I feel like the job market here in New Bedford is very limited, especially if you're looking for like a high paying job, like constructions or landscaping. But the good thing is, I know people doing construction like around the Boston area and get paid good money. I know people doing landscaping, especially in the Cape Cod area. You know what I mean? But if you're looking for like a regular job, minimum wage, you will find some jobs here in New Bedford, like maybe Burger King, Dunkin' Donuts,
Yeah.
like, um, but if like I said, if you're looking for high paying jobs, it's very limited here in New Bedford. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, no, I can agree with that. Um, another con.
Yeah,
Um,
think of anything that you can share, any cons and
maybe.
pros.
I mean, it's not really a con. I mean, I guess they are working on it, but maybe the roads. The roads. Most of the places you used to go out here sometimes used to be a little tough, but they've improved a lot. I'm not out there as often, but usually I pass by a certain area where I know that when I go out down there, I pass by a certain area and I'll be like, whoa, this road is not as bad as it used to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure there's
Yeah,
still
no,
some
I
there, but
agree.
like I said, these things could be anywhere, everywhere.
No, I agree. I agree. New Bedford has been improving a lot. Um, in terms of roads that you're saying, they actually been fixing a lot of roads. Even if you see the highway 140, they were actually working on there, which is it's a lot better now. But I agree. It's not just New Bedford, but I think Massachusetts in general. You know, the road sometimes can be very rough, but
Hmm.
yeah, they're working on it. So another pro that I would say, let's see, I'm trying to think what else we can share. Let's see the other pro.
I got one in
You
mind,
got one? Yeah, if you
definitely.
got one,
Yeah,
go
I
ahead and.
think even though we don't have much around the city in terms of amenities, amenities
Yeah,
is what I'm looking for. Um, you still have Dartmouth less than what 15 minutes, maybe depending on where you're located. It's not that far. A lot of things down in Dartmouth. I mean, Fairhaven has Walmart, but they have a few other things. It's a little bit more than New Bedford for sure. But Dartmouth is a good area. You have a lot
Yeah.
of things. Like for example, the mall. Not something we have in New Bedford. You know.
Yeah, no, that's something I was gonna say. It is very close to all the amenities here in New Bedford, so um, we don't really have like such as like big stores in New Bedford. Like we don't have stores like Walmart or
Target.
Targets. But the good thing
Same.
is New Bedford is close to Dartmouth, especially the north side. So
Yeah.
that's where over there you'll find all the major stores. You'll find all the big stores such as like Walmart, which is most people shop at Walmart, which is if you were in like in the west side, you'll be closer to North Dartmouth, which is it'll be like maybe 10-15 minutes drive to North Dartmouth. But if you're like in the deep south end, you're probably about 20 minutes out, 25 minutes
Yeah.
to the store, which is still not bad. 20 25 minutes drive. So we have Walmart, Target, Best Buy, BJ's, Home Depot, Lowe's. Pretty much all the big
Yeah.
stores is in the North Dartmouth side, which is it's another great area. And also, yeah, as you mentioned, we have the mall there as well, which is I do my shoppings there sometimes. Um, but there's also some great restaurants there, and there's the new I don't know if you've seen it in North Dartmouth, the new restaurant coming. What's it called? Chick-fil-A.
Oh, it's
You
a
seen it?
fillet.
Yeah, that thing. I don't know if they're open, but that's something that's coming over there
Yeah, I
as
heard.
well.
So I
I
heard.
never been there. I don't know if you've been there, but I
No,
never
I
been to
haven't.
Chick-fil-A before. But yeah,
Well,
that's
I've done
that's
a Chick-fil-A, not
yeah,
just
so that
that
one,
one.
yeah, so we have plenty of stuff coming. So if you want to stay very close to these stores, so let's say you want to live in New Bedford, but you must be close to all these stores, especially Walmart. Then the west side of New Bedford will be a lot closer to those stores, and also the high school in North Dartmouth. That one is actually a very nice high school. So I know a lot of people moving down here. School is very important. They gotta have a good school for the kids. So North Dartmouth side will also be a great area. Now there's also it's close to South Dartmouth, which is the South Dartmouth is more kind of like towards the water, and which is South Dartmouth is also a very beautiful places there too, and you can find the homes there with the like a big acre lot with the massive like field there as well. And as I said, as like I said before, if you're into like fishing, South Dartmouth is also a very great area. Then you also have Fairhaven, which is another beautiful small town. Especially if you're looking to retire, you want to stay somewhere where it's not like too crowded. It's very very quiet. Fairhaven is also a nice area for that. With I think last time I checked, it was around like 16,000 people, which is not a lot.
Okay.
Um, and they also have some great schools there as well. So from New Bedford to Fairhaven depends where you're coming from. If you're like near the downtown area, it's just about like 10 minutes drive to Fairhaven. There's also Walmart there, like Burlington, and other stores there as well.
They
Um,
have Burlington and Fairhaven?
yeah, they opened a Burlington there.
Really?
Actually, they probably opened. I would say maybe a couple months ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was there one day. I would say maybe like a month ago. I was there. So they opened, where the plaza where they have the Walmart,
Yeah,
they have
yeah.
like Wendy's and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they opened one
Nice.
there as well. So the other pro I would say about New Bedford is affordability, and I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
explain what I mean here because some people might not agree with me. Depends of the time at the time that you're watching this video. So right now, in my opinion, I think New Bedford it is very affordable compared to some other places here in Massachusetts, especially like right now. I think New Bedford and Fall River is the most affordable places to live right now in the South Coast, where you can still rent an apartment for under like $1,500 a month, which is I actually been getting a lot of calls recently. People trying to relocate down here, and
Yeah.
when I ask them like what is bringing them by, one of the main reasons they trying to relocate here is affordability, and people are now especially people coming from the Boston area. I've been getting a lot of people recently from Boston, Brockton area. They're trying to come down here because it's still affordable, especially when it comes to rent. Some other places people are paying $2,500 a month and up, which is when you compare it to New Bedford, you can still enjoy all these things. Even like if you work in Boston, as you know, Boston is crazy expensive, where people
Yeah.
are paying like over 3,500 or even $4,000 a month, which is pretty crazy. But when you compare here, you can find an apartment here, either New Bedford for River, for under $1,500 a month. So, and not only just the rent, but also like I feel like like the gas for your car, you could pay like $2 something a gallon right now. Groceries are still a little bit less compared to some other places. Especially the especially Market Basket, they have some nice stuff there that's not crazy expensive. What do you say? What do you gotta say about affordability?
Yeah, I mean that's I've been hearing the same thing. Within surrounding areas, it seems like New Bedford definitely is a little bit more affordable than anywhere around it at the moment, and even investors coming from further down, moving towards here for investment properties. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
definitely.
saying?
I
Even
get
though,
investors reaching out to me as well, because in terms of like if you're gonna buy something down here, you can still find a very like affordable homes, even like some single family homes. If you want like something that's not too crazy, just maybe 3 bedrooms, one bath, you could find something for under $350,000, and also as like an investment where you could buy like a multi-family, let's say 3 units, you could find something for under 600,000 or 550,000, which is when you compare to other places like I said, Boston, you won't be able to buy a home there. If you're buying a multi-family home, you won't be able to find something for like under $1 million in Boston. So everything is going to be a million plus.
yeah,
But you can still enjoy, you can still enjoy the beauty of New Bedford and still pay less. Now, the other pro that I'm gonna say is welcoming community. So what I mean is moving down here, moving to New Bedford. When I moved here back in 2008, I felt like New Bedford is a very, I feel like New Bedford is a very friendly city. Especially coming from a different place, you're gonna get that like welcoming vibe where people are very nice here because New Bedford is very diverse and we have people from all different places. We have people from like different countries. So me moving down here, it was very easy for me to make friends, especially when I was in high school. I had friends for all over the place. I had friends from like Portugal, friends from like Guatemala, Mexico, India. It was very easy. So I don't know if this is true, but I heard people like from like the Boston area.
hmm.
I heard that they don't really talk to you, or they can be
Oh
very
really?
rude. So
Everybody's just going about their business.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know if it's true. If you're from Boston, comment below. But I heard that people are like they're not that nice around the Boston area. But I feel
Yeah.
like here in New Bedford, people are very nice, easy to get along with each other. Like I said, it's a mix of like especially like Cape Verdean Portuguese is really a huge here in New Bedford. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, I could say the same. I mean, just growing up being a young kid, I've never
Yeah,
really had
especially
any
you growing
issue.
up here. I mean, I grew up here as well too. As a you as a young kid growing up, was it like very difficult for you to make friends, or was it like easy? Uh,
No, not at all. I mean, you just at that age, you don't really, it's not something that you really like look into. It just happens, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I never had an issue making friends, and
Yeah,
till this day,
same
I
thing
don't
with me.
really, I still don't have any issues making friends. I think it's I can agree with you
Yeah,
on that.
that's same thing. Especially like I said, man, when I go for when I go for a walk all the time, and then there's other people walking. There people always like they're greeting each other. People say good morning, good evening.
Yeah,
It's very friendly. Friendly community. You know. Um, I think that's it for now. I can't think of anything else. And if you're moving to New Bedford, if you have any question about the city, any question about the area, don't hesitate to reach out anytime. All the information will be in the description. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. And thanks for coming by. Thanks for
of
doing this video
course.
with me because I
Yes,
wanted
sir.
people to hear not just from me, but also hear from somebody as well that been here for a while. But see you guys on the
Absolutely.
next one.
Peace.